ask you about a colleague of yours, Hala Ratit, who was the most senior spokesperson in the region and a diplomat who served the State Department for 18 years in different places, Hong Kong, Yemen, South Africa. She resigned, and basically she said that she's been calling the administration to restrict sending arms to Israel. She's resigning in protest about your policy towards Israel. And she warned of that this policy will endanger diplomats like herself and U.S. troops in the region. It's against U.S. interests in the region. So what's your message to somebody like her and many in the State Department that the normal channel that you give them to express their opposition and their views is not going anywhere? It's basically they're just allowing them to speak, but there's no change of policy.
So let me say a couple things there, Nadia. First and foremost, we're talking about a personnel matter, so I'm not going to delve into the specifics.
She's an official.
We're talking about a personnel matter, and so this is something that I'm not going to speak about specifically. I have seen the reports. Firstly, we have been, there is a process, there are channels that we've spent a lot of time in this briefing room talking about, for which our workforce can share their points of view when they disagree with a certain policy or a certain action that the U.S. government is taking. You've heard us talk about the dissent channel. That channel continues to be in place. The Secretary reads every single one of those dissent channel cables, and dissenting viewpoints from across the administration. We continue to welcome them, and we think that it helps lead to stronger, more robust policymaking. And the Secretary wants to hear differing points of views. He believes it makes him a better, stronger leader of this department and a better and stronger policymaker. Ultimately, anybody's decision on whether they want to continue to remain employed somewhere or not, that is ultimately a decision for them to make. That's not anything for us to speak to. That's a very personal process. What I can say that when we're talking about the region, we are very clear-eyed about our goals and what we want. We want to see the hostages released. We want to see a ceasefire that is coupled with the release of hostages and the influx of humanitarian aid to continue to help alleviate the ongoing crisis that is in Gaza. We also want to see Hamas defeated. We want to ensure that Gaza can no longer be a launching pad for terrorism against the Israeli people. All of these things we want to see happen, and we are working tirelessly, day in, day out, to achieve this goal. And lastly, I'll just say, Nadia, when it comes to the safety and security of our diplomats, this Secretary has no higher priority than that, and that is factored into our decision-making when it comes to any kind of foreign policy that we pursue, whether it be in the Middle East or whether it be in other corners of the world.